Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome, everybody.
I'm Treva.
And I'm Shells.
And welcome to Mrs.
And Mrs.
The
Podcast.
We did it, dog.
Oh, my goodness. I'm excited.
Me and too.
I am excited.
Let's go.
Come on.
Go.
Yeah. Go ahead, your intro. Introduce yourself. You look amazing.
Well, I am Latreva Herndon Washington, but I go by Treva for those who love me. And yeah, so that's me. I'm Treva.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, listen, I am Rochelle Washington.
Yes.
The other half of the Washington, right?
Yes.
And I go by Shells. And we are Mrs. and Mrs.
The podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
So listen,
Hey Marcus. Yes, baby, we is here. Yes.
What's good? What's good? Listen, IG, I don't want y'all to think that we are not commenting and engaging with you guys. You guys are just a little bit further away from us, and as you can tell, we both wear glasses. And yeah, we're not gonna even talk about how we need to go get our eyes tested right now. But listen, we got a little icebreaker. I wanna ask you a question. Is that cool?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I want to know that when you first met me, when you introduced to me and everything, you found my name out and everything like that, did you go stalk my social media pages?
Of course I did. Of course I did. I got a random phone call that was like, somebody want to talk to you. I was like, I don't know who this person is. So of course, when I got your name, I went to figure out, how tall you were.
It's all good.
And, just by some of the angles, I could tell, like, the fact that, like, your head and your feet were in the shot. Like, I had a way of discerning whether or not you were tall.
Well.
But, yes, I did. I did stalk your social media.
Well, I got a follow-up question. It's probably, So, today is July 19th. And we're literally 2.5 years
into. Yes.
So the height, the stalking of the page and everything, the height, you good with it? Because, you're stuck now.
You're here.
That's what I get. But it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
So, my question was, what... I know that you liked slimmer people. So what was it that made you, you told me I was the biggest, largest, fullest.
Listen, if anybody knows,
you dated.
If anybody know me, I am a true Drake fan, right? So I like my girls BBW, you know what I'm saying? No, but it's the way that you carried yourself, girl. Oh my goodness. And it was like you wore well, and it really wasn't about how you look, to be honest. It was so much.
I'm gorgeous. Don't you be missing. Really.
But you ain't even let a person finish. A critical point. It wasn't your physical appearance, although you are voluptuous and beautiful. It is mainly your intellect, your spiritual connection. Oh, anyway, y'all listen. We want to welcome you guys. Those of you who are just now tuning in, welcome to Mrs. and Mrs. The podcast. This is us. This is us. This is us. Authentic or not. Truth. Okay, audience. Come on here and tell them. This is how we do it on a regular night, conversation wise. We just engaging, right? So this thing, we wanna just tell y'all a little bit about us and a little about how we came to do this podcast, right? So who are we? Of course, we introduced ourselves. This is Latreva. I am Rochelle, and we are the Washingtons. How did we meet? Oh my goodness, through a mutual friend. We met through a mutual friend. Just one day, you know how it is being lonely. Y'all know how it is when you're lonely. Come on, talk to me out there. And you just like, you know what, I'm tired. I need a friend. I need somebody to go to the movies with, You said you knew somebody in my hometown. Hook me up. And then the rest is what?
The rest is
history.
Our story.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I am Latriva Washington, and yeah, so it was a mutual friend again that connected us, and so once I realized that we had lots of places where there were intersections of our lives where we could have met, but we didn't. And just the fact that you were
just tell
a
them,
good
tell them the
Christian
first,
girl.
tell them the first place where
What, music?
we get music.
So we were. She has a memory. I don't remember anything.
I remember the good things.
I know, right? And so she. Dang, I lost my thought.
In the choir.
Oh, we were both in choir. She went to Galveston Ball.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and I went to Lamarck High School.
Okay,
That's
give it up for them
right.
Cougars.
That's
Give it up for them
what's up.
Cougars.
Dun, 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 dun. Hey. So we were both choir girls.
Yes.
And she remembers us meeting at like UIL events and stuff like that.
She was a soprano.
I was a soprano.
I
She was a mighty tenor. A mighty tenor. But I don't remember her. And so she was like, I know you. And I was like, girl, I left here in 1993. I don't know. So we ended up, kind of once we started talking, we realized that our paths had crossed
Several
many
times.
different ways.
Several times,
And
yes.
that it was only in 2016 that we met. So
that connection, that universe.
some of those, the fates had their way.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for those of you who are here. Man,
I
we
love
appreciate
it.
that y'all
We
are
love
here.
it. Oh my goodness, look at Mama McDonald. Don't do it to me. Don't make me cry. Come on here, Rashawn Washington, my biggest supporter. Our biggest. Man,
Thank
my
you,
goodness.
Sean.
We
Sean was
that.
like, y'all support.
Yeah.
Sean know everybody.
Everybody.
Everyone.
And I'm just saying.
Everyone.
So if you need a connect. Yeah. So listen, how did you get me to do this thing here? How did you come about? How did you get me into this?
I've been wanting to do a podcast since I met you. I've been talking about it, but even preceding you. And so I knew I wanted to do it with somebody. I knew that I wanted it to be something that was significant and meaningful. And so, I don't know, just one day I was like, I was sitting, because we have Mrs. and Mrs. on our mantle next to our wedding certificate and our picture. And I was looking at the mantle and I was like, Mrs. and Mrs.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to just ask. So I shot my shot and I was like, say, I got this idea. Would you do it with me?
And I said
yes. And it was the quickest yes you've ever given me. I'm like, you want stuff from the kitchen? Well,
I'm guilty.
It takes so much time for you to answer a question.
Help me.
So for you to pop on it took me a while. I was like, let me wait. If she gonna change her mind, or something's gonna happen.
Nope. See?
And so we're here.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing for how this came about was when we got married, we were looking for. I love podcasts. Love them. We'll live on them all day. I'll sit in my car in the heat, chewing ice, listening to my podcast.
I love them now.
And because of your introduction. Anyway, so so once I was looking for podcasts when we got married, I was like, surely there are people out there talking about what the experiences of lesbian relationships, marriages are like, because there are some unique situations that come up in these relationships.
And we didn't have anyone to talk to.
Nobody. Didn't have any friends for us.
Exactly.
A lot for us in our friendship circles. We were the first ones.
Exactly.
And so it was really difficult to find the advice on a day-to-day basis. So reach out and try to figure it out. So
I have couples and everything, and it's just me and my pride wouldn't want me to go to them, but now it's like, hey, you know what? Hey, I need y'all help. So big shout out right now to our IG people again.
Yes.
I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the love. We love you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. Come on here now, K-Ro Productions.
K-Ro.
Anyway, so listen. So it says, what can the people expect? What can the people expect from?
Great
First
question.
of all,
go for it.
fun and laughter.
Yeah. Constant comedy.
Get ready.
Constant comedy.
Get ready.
I don't know how to live any other way.
tell people what they can look for. What they can
Well,
expect.
so the reality is for us, we have a lot that we want to talk about.
Exactly.
We have a lot that we want to understand.
Mm-hmm.
We are also going to be bringing in some of our friends
Yes.
to participate in these conversations, and I'm going to be very honest. This is a space that we're going to cultivate and curate for lesbians, because specifically Black lesbians first. But there are lots of places. I found a lot more podcasts that are catered to gay men,
Yes.
Black men, the LGBTQ community at large. But there were really not a lot of things for lesbian couples.
Yes.
And I want us to make a mark there. I want us to be able to be the resource that we couldn't find.
Right. Now, let me go ahead and say this for everyone else. Oh, you don't identify with LGBTQ plus. It's okay. We can learn from you as well. You see what I'm saying? It's a lot of people on here that's supporting. I love the support. And you guys, if you can answer these questions too, being that we just here so that we can create a space, and we love creating safe spaces.
Safe spaces.
So let us say that this is a safe space.
And
okay?
the other thing that I wanted to acknowledge is that honestly, we are new in a lot of ways to the LGBTQ plus community in terms of education,
Yes.
in terms of what's what and who's what. You know, we love each other.
Yes.
We love the women that we love. But as far as, you know, being up on what's going on, we don't know.
We don't
So we're going to be asking a lot of questions,
Yep.
and we're going to be, you know, using these conversations to help us answer some of those questions. 'Cause the other day I found one on TikTok where someone used the term about, you know, a switch in terms of a lesbian person who
Goes back to
I don't know, not quite. I can't remember what it is. But again, perfect example.
Exactly.
We're going to be learning things
Exactly.
and sharing the things that we learn.
Yeah.
So that's why it's also, our community is for everyone. Because if you want to, if you consider yourself an ally and you want to be more informed and you want to understand, this is a great place to come because we're going to be learning together.
Exactly.
So
I love it. So this is us, you guys. This is what we're going to be doing. This is why we started the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the next segment
will be a marriage moment.
The marriage minute.
The marriage minute. Marriage minute.
Yes.
So listen, in the marriage minute, since we are married, it's things that we have received, things that we've learned being married and just being in relationships that we want to share with you guys. From our perspective, again, we're not perfect. We do not know everything. We do not consider ourselves to be the elite lesbians.
We are learning each other.
Exactly.
We're learning ourselves.
And
it's constant growth.
Yes.
It's constant growth, and it's constantly being connected to your partner.
Exactly.
So the key piece is
learning from, you know, each other. And
Yeah.
learning from. So tonight's marriage minute is about communication.
Yeah. Here we go.
Come on. Communication on any level.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be in a marriage.
Yes.
Just
Yes.
communication is so important. Communication, oh my goodness. And I'll be honest, this is something that I'm really diving into since we've been married, because I used to be the one. There are some people that are on here streaming with us will tell you that I wasn't the best communicator, right? So I want to ask you this question. Why is communication in a marriage important? Especially to you. Why is that important?
For me, it's important because no one is a mind reader.
Yeah.
And as much as you want to feel that, you know, I'm connected to my partner and I know that they know my needs and can meet them, we've all had different experiences. We all have different situations that have caused us to respond in certain ways. And if you are making assumptions or relating to your partner based off of past relationships, you're already at a deficit. You're already functioning at a deficit. And so because you're two people coming in, you've got to talk through the areas where there will be some conflict. Because conflict is inevitable.
And it's going to happen. I like the part where you said you're not a mind reader. So why is it important? Because I want you to know what I'm feeling. I want you to know what's going on with me, especially in this marriage. So I want you to be able to understand who I am, and the only way that you're going to understand what I'm going through and everything, who I am and who I want to become and what my purpose is, I have to communicate to you about things of the past, things that, and we're going to dive into that too. So communication is key. It's like, it's a connection. And I know for us, that part brings our connection together when we are able to sit and just talk. And about any and everything. So that's good. Go ahead.
It's foundational. Like, you cannot really build a relationship without communication. You can't. Like, even as a teacher, if I don't take the time to communicate with my kids, let them know my expectations, who I am, and that's kind of a no-brainer, right? You have 35 different persons in the class, you have to communicate. And so I don't know why we don't translate that same idea to our one-to-one relationships.
Listen, I want to give a shout out to Mala. Mala says, knowing each other's love language. Oh my goodness. So listen, before we go to that love language thing, as far as communication, that's awesome. Before we go to that, I wanted to say something. Like, we met on October 18th. October 18th, that evening, we talked on the phone all night long, like literally asking questions. It was like 21 questions. So that communication started literally from the beginning. So that was good. I love what you said, Mala, about love language. Listen, I did not know anything, and I'm being honest. Did not know anything about a love language or anything. Like, when you in these relationships, you're not getting the full. You're learning how to love, right? So when I met Treva, that's when I learn about that love language. So yes, knowing each other's love language is very important from the start. Now I knew of it from the beginning because she taught me about love languages and everything, but now it's so I can apply it. I know I can tell you now that her love language is words of affirmation. Her love language is touch. You know what I'm saying? So I know what those love languages are, and it's a very great way of communicating. Very good way of communicating, right? Second question, listen to this. How is communicating with your girlfriend or boyfriend different from communicating with your spouse?
And you didn't want to ask this question. Why didn't you want to
I didn't want to ask it because I'm like, man, if we're talking about marriage, what the girlfriend and boyfriend have to do it? But I looked at that question. Can I just say this? I feel like the communicating with girlfriend or boyfriend is that you tell them just enough. Right? So on the cool, if we're just dating or something, I'm just going to tell you enough for you to be like, to draw you in, or even not to get so close. But in a marriage, I'm telling you everything. Like, I'm laying it all on the table. And I'm just saying this for me. I'm not a person to disclose everything in a relationship. I'm just, I don't want to bring past things up, but I was in a relationship for a very long time. There's a lot of things that person didn't know about me that you know about me. So when you're girlfriend and boyfriend, to answer that question, when you're girlfriend and boyfriend, there's just certain things that, you're going to say, but then there's some things you don't even want to share yet because trust is not all there. It's not there all the way. You see what I'm saying? So it's just certain things I'm not going to tell my girlfriend. Right. So I'm going to tell my spouse, but
and Rashawn said it starts there. It starts with the girlfriend boyfriend relationships. You start with the conversation. You start opening it up, but when you start to take that next step, you should, in your relationship, your conversation should take the next level, move up to the next level.
That is true.
And that's a great point. I think that when you said trust, I think that, of course, dating relationships and marriages are, people feel very strongly about, the seriousness of dating relationships. Right. And this isn't to minimize that or anything, but there is a definite difference between the commitment and the responsibility that you have for someone in a marriage versus a dating relationship.
Exactly.
So the communication that, the trust that you have to have in order to get to that place of completely communicating, openly communicating, sharing in a way where it's like, I'm not secretive, I'm not keeping things away from
man,
you. I think that also being able to be called out on your stuff is really important in terms of your communication in a relationship. Because I think a lot of times when we are, and you see it in marriages now too, but a lot of times when we're dating, we have the propensity to, walk away, throw up our hands, and not feel that we have to tell you anything.
Exactly.
Because of the kind of vulnerability that, being in a relationship requires. And when you are married, you have to be willing to walk into it and step into it. And if you don't fulfill something, be ready to hear from your partner that this didn't work. And figure out how you're going to deal with it. It's not always easy to hear.
I'm being honest. Being married is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. And
communicating is not for those who are not willing to hear truth.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
This is deep for me. So, I mean, growth. Ooh,
we praise the growth.
Thank you, Lord.
And we thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what happens what you think happens when there is a breakdown in communication in the marriage? What happens when there's a breakdown of communication? I know for us, there's a loss of connection.
Yeah.
We recognize it right off. Listen, what's going on? So the breakdown in communication is a breakdown in our connection as a marriage. We're learning that. That's something that we learned early on. But what happens when there's a breakdown in communication in the marriage? It's very important for you guys to find the center. Mm-hmm. Woo! Mm-hmm. That took me back.
Come on.
Come on with it. You have to find the center. Like what drew you? What was the reason you guys said? I know there's a reason. You just didn't say I do because you wanted something to do, or you're just not in this partnership or in this relationship just because you need something to do. There's a reason. There's a purpose. That you guys, and whatever that center is, whatever that thing that drew you together, that breakdown is easy to pull back up with trust. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm gonna say faith. I'm always gonna say faith. But you got to bring that connection back. That sense.
And you're right. But I think that when we have a breakdown in communication and relationship, like our loss of connection manifests in our, I don't know if I'm gonna say this correctly, but I feel like when we end up getting hurt, not necessarily intentionally hurting the other person, that's kind of where the beginning of a loss of connection comes from, right? And so when there's not the connection, the communication goes next. And so I think that the loss of connection first comes from that hurt, and then it also comes from how we are accustomed to responding to being hurt. And so if I am normally a shutdown person, if I feel like you have hurt me or not heard me or whatever, I am going to shut down.
Right.
And that's going to be an immediate, barrier to connection. And then if we don't communicate through that, which is where it falls, where it could fall apart, where it has fallen apart in the past. It's like, okay, you recognize that I'm, something has triggered me and I'm shut down, and instead of giving me time to process through it or whatever, you want me to respond it and fix it the way that makes you comfortable.
That's so selfish.
And so it's okay. But it had to become a situation where we were able to drill down and figure out, okay, where did all of this originate from?
Come on.
And it originated from, you hurt my feelings when you said I shut down, and then all hell broke.
Which brings us to something that's very, very important. And listen, again, we want to welcome everybody. Those of you who are just coming in, we thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for showing us love.
Thank y'all for commenting.
Again, thank you. I see the hearts up there, IG, Instagram. Thank y'all so much, man.
Thank you.
Like, I really appreciate that. This is such, for me, for her, for me to her, it's like, oh, this is your big thing, girl. This is this is what you've been wanting, you got it. For me, it's like I'm stepping out of so much.
Yes.
So
and I'm
it's
so
like,
proud of you. I'm so proud of you because you
So, yeah.
like when you get ready to preach, you get really anxious and
Very.
really because you take this mic, you take your time, the time that people give you
Yeah.
to hear from you or hear from God through you. You take that very seriously, and so I wanted you to take this seriously, and I didn't think that you wouldn't, but I also didn't want it to be something that caused you anxiety.
No, yeah.
I wanted you to have fun. I wanted you to feel as comfortable with this as you do with me in the den.
Yeah, so the thing is,
this was important.
And the thing
to
is,
know.
though, as far as that, is like I have to let you know that a lot of the anxiety that's, spirit talking to me and everything like that. So when I get it, I know what that is. However, for this, it's just like, it's natural. It's a conversation on our couch.
Yeah.
So it's what's up. But we were getting ready to transition into.
But we have a couple comments.
Oh, okay, a couple comments. Who's that?
Mila.
Okay, Mila says, how you start is how you finish. If you aspire to be married and it is the ultimate goal, then laying it all out should be automatic. Honesty is the best policy. Yes, listen, and that's something that, to be honest, that's something that I am still learning. You know what I'm saying? Like laying it all out. Like it's just recently that I've just been like, you know what, Treve, I got something to tell you. We got that thing we say, can I get a moment of total honesty? You know what I'm saying? Can I get this moment? That means that you're not going to we can't be angry. We don't come in angry with this because you already know that this is
something that's going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But brace yourself.
Brace yourself. So, all right. Thank you, Rashawn. What you say, man? Y'all can't what? Y'all can't. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, cuz, how you doing? Thank you for coming on. Calvin Washington.
Oh, hi.
He says, let me say, the wanting to solve it.
I'm gonna
Okay, all right. I appreciate it. Listen, IG, I see y'all up there. I don't know who it is particularly. Y'all know.
Thank y'all for the hearts. We see y'all. Thank y'all.
Yeah, thank you, Krisha.
All right.
All right, so my cuz Calvin Washington says, the wanting to solve it right now without giving time for my lady to process is me. Okay, I'm working. That's cool. That's cool. And let me tell you something. The working to solve the right now. I know. Yeah. Because it's like, and see, I already know your bloodline, so I already know you ready to get it. But the thing is, it's like, give them time to process. Mm-hmm. Give her that moment, give her that space. Mm-hmm. So we were learned, and we're gonna get into it, I promise. Mm-hmm. This is the most important thing. We learned that having little words. What was it? A key word. I say key word because I'm a math teacher. So key words. But having that
pineapples.
Whatever I can't even think of it. Somebody gonna
safe word.
Safe word. There we go. So having something just like hey, this is the word that say like, look, break.
Yeah.
Break.
Yeah.
Time out. Yeah. And that means that look, I'm not leaving you. I'm not leaving the conversation, but I need a break. I need some space before it gets to. So yeah, I mean, that's what's up. Love that. Thank you so much. Thank you. So the thing is, she said some things, and I want y'all to understand because the next question is, the first question was what happens when there's a breakdown in communication, right, in your marriage, and then we come back to the importance of therapy. And I got to let you know before we get into this, I'm going to let you know that we're going to have segments. And as a matter of fact, we've already come up to the thing that our next segment is going to be about mental health, right? So we're going to have an entire segment where we talk about mental health, mental illness, and, therapy. So, but we want to know, because this is our marriage minute, right? How is that communication? How is that importance in therapy? And let's talk about individual and couples.
Okay.
And yeah, you go first. Let's whatever you want to talk.
Wait, what was the question?
The importance of therapy. What is the importance of therapy?
And in general?
In general, marriage, just
to the relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, and the reason it was conflicting is because I've been in therapy before marriage, and so
and
for me, therapy goes back.
Yeah.
Decades.
I feel you.
And so it has not always had the effectiveness that it's had for me since I've been married.
I got you.
Because whether you see this as whatever, I I did not value my own healing. I did not value my own, like, why this was important to just me as Latriva.
Yeah, that's real.
Before I got married.
That's real.
For me, it was just like, I don't, and this is just being honest, I don't matter. I don't have no kids. I ain't got no spouse. If I'm on a planet or not, it doesn't matter, right? And so while I was miserable, being, depressed and anxious, I grew to a point to where I grew accustomed to how that felt.
Yeah.
I grew accustomed to that heaviness, although it was miserable. And so right before I met you, I got back on my medication regimen, and I began to just try to figure out how to feel better.
Yeah.
And then once I met you and began to realize that it made me feel something, because for a long time I was numb, emotionally, spiritually, and so it made me feel something with you. And so I didn't know what that felt like, but I knew, I didn't know what it was, but I wanted to experience it. And so I had to begin to take steps to deal with things that I felt. So you might have done things to piss me off or upset me, but I had to, because I knew that I had some emotional instability. I needed to have somebody to talk to process this, because did she really do this to piss me off, or is this something that from my childhood triggered me when she bumped into it by saying XYZ? So there was just a lot that I needed to work and sort out. But I knew I didn't want to do that apart from learning who you were.
Right.
And so if I were going to be in this relationship, I was going to have to continue therapy in a meaningful, purposeful way. And so it really motivated me to do more of my own self-healing, because I wanted to be as whole for this as I possibly could.
Message. There is nothing wrong with going to get some individual therapy.
Right.
You guys, we have got to come out of the things that we were taught where, we don't go get therapy. Black people don't go get therapy. We don't go get therapy. We depend on the Lord. Y'all, the reason we were created.
The reason we have counselors is because the Lord put into someone's spirit that counseling was necessary, and
it is okay.
The process started.
And I'm gonna be honest. And this is what we do. This is why people gonna learn from us, right? Because as far as individual therapy, I didn't know how useful and how much I needed it until we began to go to couples therapy.
Okay.
And it wasn't until we went to couples therapy, which is, let me go ahead and say this, if you are just in a relationship, a long-term relationship, and you are you're getting ready to get married, I recommend premarital counseling. I recommend marriage counseling. And nothing has to be going on with you guys for you to get that, that counseling. It helps the relationship along the way. We been in couples therapy for a year now, over a year, a little bit over a year, and I'm gonna be honest, I was like, we're gonna stop because we're good. The doctor said we were good,
right?
And as soon as I'm saying the doctor said we were good, then something else, so I'm just exactly. So you know what I'm saying. So the importance of therapy is so that first of all, that you could go get some of that stuff out. And I'm talking to you too, IG. You can go get some of that stuff out that the past has you've buried from the past, or the past has caused you to be this type of person. And I'm gonna give props out to Jasmine Sullivan right now. She has a song. What's the song?
Which one?
The one you gonna make a
Girl Like Me.
Girl.
Yeah.
Because them girls have some issues and they ain't gonna get no therapy. So they helping somebody.
Oh, we're
gonna break that. But still, I'm just saying.
Misunderstood.
No, I didn't. No,
we'll talk about it.
But therapy. But no, I do recommend marriage counseling, premarital counseling. It helps. The important important piece in therapy is that you can get it out. Don't go in there with somebody know my business, man. Listen, them people not worried about you. Those people not worried. They are just here to sit, to listen, to dive into things that you don't want to dive into, or you couldn't dive into.
And you don't even know, because there's so much stuff that it doesn't even come up for you. I know for me, it didn't even come up in some situations until we ended up in moments. And I'm just like, wait, I sound like 9-year-old me. What the? I'm a whole grown up. What is going on? So there were times that things would come up that I didn't even know were things.
Yeah.
And so you just have to unpack those things, because if you're going to live in harmony with your spouse and all men, like, you need to know yourself first.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
Rashawn said, yes, allowing that time to personally vent is real. That person may just know what it's going to take for them in order for them not to pop.
Exactly.
Yeah, so give that person some room.
Listen, I do see this person on IG. Shouts out to my big sis sharing it. I see you sharing that. I see you, Big Sean. I see you. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you. Love you, sis. You know you've helped me.
Yes.
Pisces.
Yes.
Pisces.
The Pisces.
So, therapy is very important, you guys. We recommend it. We do not shy from it. It has helped us a lot to truly be in this space at this time right now. So, yeah.
So get you a therapist, baby.
Yeah.
Get you a therapist for you and your spouse.
That's it.
Merry Christmas.
That's it. That's our marriage minute.
Yeah.
That's our marriage minute.
Communication is key. Hold on.
Communication is key. Okay, so
Calvin said, last one, most of us aren't taught to be and haven't had models of mindfulness. Come on, Calvin. So we often can't track what's actually going on with us beneath the surface. This is exactly what therapy is for.
Yes.
Bless you, Calvin. Thank you.
You don't know how proud I am right now. Thank you so much, cuz. Thank you for saying that. You're so right. You're so right. So yeah. Soul Tree.
Yes, honey.
I think I think we've made it through the first episode.
I think so. Can you believe it?
And that was just, little things that we're going to be doing, guys.
Yes.
Just coming through with just talking, sitting down and having conversations about certain things. So listen, first of all, we want to make sure that you understand where you can find us and subscribe to us. We are on IG and TikTok at Mrs. and Mrs. Pod.
Yes.
And follow us on Facebook. At Facebook, we are Mrs. and Mrs. The Podcast. We appreciate you guys stopping by for these 40 minutes, taking time out in your busy schedules. Listen, I am excited. Listen, we're going to be talking about this all night. I can already feel it. We're going to be talking about this all night. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much. Oh, all right. Cool. Tip. Yeah, Pisces gang.
Hey.
We love y'all. We love y'all.
Definitely excited. Please stick around with us. We are probably going to do this maybe once a month.
Yeah.
We want to do the next one before we go back to school or somewhere about that time. So, like she said, we are going to have a mental health focus for the next show. Just thinking about those of us who are getting ready to go back into this school year.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be different for us. So this is a conversation that's meant to help, parents, teachers, students, anybody who is going to be impacted by this new school year that's getting ready to happen. And so we want to have some conversations and have some help here for us to kind of process that together. Yeah. So it'll be around the middle or end of August, but we're going to try to do these for us monthly because we are teachers. And as excited as we are to try to do this every week, we're realistic.
But we know that we're going to have to do it sometime because it's good for us. This is great for us. Y'all just don't understand how awesome this was. We appreciate everybody. So, from Mrs.
and Mrs.
The Podcast, we're going to sign off. We love you guys. We wish you peace, love, and happiness. Spread love wherever you go. Listen, make sure that you're drinking plenty of water so that you can stay going to the restroom
Hydrated. All you had to do was say
and out of people's business.
girl.
All right? You be so careful. We love y'all.
Love you. Y'all have a good night.
Peace.